I want to welcome everyone back to the channel. Today, I want to introduce a good brother of mine from up north. I'll go ahead and let him introduce himself.
My name's Myron Hoaglen. They call me Mudcat. Had that name ever since I was little, playing in the mud puddles. So I'm a Kunkel, I'm Wailaki, I'm Namalaki, I'm Little Lake, and Wailaki. So I'm from the Round Valley Indian Reservation, and my people were driven here from all directions, from the coast, clear over there by Orville, Yankee Hill. My people were on the walks to this reservation, the death walk marches, they call them sometimes. So my grandmother's, Kunkel grandmother's name was Red Cloud as she walked here. I'm finding all this out. My other grandmother on the Hoaglen side, her name was Susan Yellow Jacket. And then my grandmother, my grandfather, Arthur Campbell, they come from the coast, Noyo, over that way, Sherwood. They come from up Shelter Cove, the Sinkion Wilderness, or Village. Come from there. We come from many directions. And my other family comes from my mother's side, comes from Long Ridge up here, Duncans. So I come from like a few big families here. And
yeah, it sounds like you're really deep rooted in the native roots, brother. And can you share a little bit about your childhood upbringing up there?
I wasn't raised here as a child. I was raised up down in the Hoaglen area, and we moved. Our family lived in Ukiah, as far as I can remember when I was real little, and then we moved to Hoaglen. We lived on the Sherwood Rancheria, and that was kind of a little experience on the Sherwood Rancheria. They didn't have no water, no electricity up there, and so everything you had to pack or light candles or lanterns. And but it was, I guess it was fun. You know, it was an experience that a lot of people may not ever experience unless your lights are turned off. You know, but out there they didn't have no electricity. They didn't have it. If you had a generator in those days, you were very, very lucky. A lot of our people don't have it then like they got it now. So.
A lot of people always ask, what's it like up there in Round Valley Reservation? It's the largest reservation in Northern California, I guess you would say. The first reservation, one of the first was the Mendocino Indian Reservation, which became Fort Bragg, and they shut that down and they marched everyone all over to Round Valley. So that's like the parent reservation. So that's the largest one. Can you explain a little bit about what it's like up there?
It's pretty cool up here. I love it. Love it up here. There's a lot of things to do. And I work for a program called the Native Ways and Path to Wellness, running through coming from the clinic, and we're doing a lot of things up here trying to help our people.
Hey, that's great. You guys are pretty active up there, and you guys are about that life, about culture preservation and about the dancing and stuff. I know, like I stated earlier, we all have that bloodline of the traditional ways, but sometimes we have to step away in order to respect it and step back into it. About what age did you step away and then step back in?
I didn't really step away. I just knew how to. I listened to rules and stuff, and they always say if you're in a different state of mind, like drinking, drugging, that you don't go by it. And so I'd stay back because I was in that kind of condition. But my kids dance and stuff. So they kind of got me into it, and got my heart into this dancing. And then I found out about the importance of it because our people up here, this was all taken from us. And we had the agency schools, and the agency school was a boarding school, and it wasn't for the agency school, I wouldn't be here, because my grandfather Arthur Campbell was brought here in 1910 by the U.S. officials, government officials, took him from Fort Bragg, from Noyo, and he said that they had to stay on the beach. They couldn't even stay up on top on the land. The Indians had to stay on the beach. And they took him from there, bring him to Covelo, 2.5 days on horse and buggy, him and his little brother. But this is where he met my grandmother and Georgia Duncan. So it was a bad thing for him, but a good thing for me. And yeah.
For those people that don't know, about how many different tribes are on the Round Valley Reservation?
Well, there's 7 tribes, and I believe there was many different dialects from what I've heard, many dialects up here. And the Yuki were the original people, but they got hit pretty hard by the white man, by a man named Hastings. He paid a lot of people good money to go out and kill a lot of Yukis. And yeah, they did a good job because there really isn't that many. And we have a lot of people with wild or Yuki blood in them, but well, all of us, we're not like one tribe up here. We got many different tribes in our blood because somewhere along the line our people started mingling, and one time a lot of them were enemies. They put them all together, and so pretty soon now we end up with 3 or 4 different tribes in our blood.
Yeah, that's what I've heard of. I come from the coast, so I hear stories about up there, and a lot of people's ancestors root back to the Round Valley Reservation. So I had another question here. What was it like, or when did you find that switch? We're warriors, we're young men, we're warriors, and then we come to that terms in our life when we know we got to turn a switch and start being constructive and positive. At what age and around what time did you decide I had enough with maybe doing this and that? I want to start being productive and being a positive role model.
Around when I was like 40 years old is when I really made the switch, the change. So we was doing a lot of me and my wife, and we wasn't we was parents, but we wasn't the parents that everybody, that the parents that they want. We had addictions and stuff like that. So she went and got treatment, and then she came and told me, I'm gonna raise the kids without you if you don't stop. So I stopped. It took me 8 months later after she told me, but I stopped. And so then that's gonna.
Yeah, that's good. I appreciate your honesty. Thank you for your honesty, brother. So I got a couple more questions before we end it. So you guys do have one of the elite groups, and we're not trying to compare any groups to any groups, but you guys are the elite group as far as dancing and ceremony. You guys do got a strong singer. You guys do got a strong rockman, which is yourself. You want to explain the difficulties and the challenges of keeping a group together as far as dancing, going out there, different personalities, and just share a little bit about your group.
Well, our group, we had a group up here, and we had Uncle Hank Gonzalez, and he ran that group, and then he passed away. So here come Chuck. And so we got together and we formed the Round Valley Feather Dancers. And Chuck is a strong singer. He's a good singer. And I hold rock the best I can, and I got some pointers from some rockmans that aren't around no more. Dave, he gave me a lot of pointers. Your grandfather gave me pointers. Lucky Panola, Delbert Panola gave me pointers. So a lot of our strength and our wisdom come from your family, so your elders. And I got lucky to be around Lucky. Yeah. So yeah, I'm very proud to carry their knowledge a little bit. What they taught me, they told me some things that I thought everybody knew, especially the people from that roundhouse over there on the coast. I thought they knew some things, but maybe that's why they told me, so I could tell them. But I was glad. Yeah. We
Oh,
have all our dance group. Yeah, we represent many tribes, all our tribes in our valley. And so, like you say, we are a big tribe, and we're like 5,000 plus members, getting close to 6,000 members. And so when we go to different towns, different reservations and stuff for the big times and casinos and stuff, well, there's a lot of Round Valley people out there that dance, but they don't live here, so they're waiting for us. And there's other groups, they jump in with us, and it's good. I love it. I really do. And if it wasn't for this dance and everything, I'd probably be dead because the drugs and stuff that they have now, when I quit, they didn't have those. And when I'm pretty sure I would have been dead now because of what they have. I tried everything, did everything, I loved it, but I hadn't. It's not a love from my heart. It was an addiction. So there's different kinds of. I love that stuff. I mean, it's addiction makes you love stuff. So, but it was hard to stop doing all that. And then, but when I made up my mind, when I really made up my mind, it was just like it was easy. So I know there is a creator there. You can quit stuff without getting sick. Creator, once you make your mind up, creator will help you. Yeah, so you don't have that craving to go back. Even though, but the dance group, if it wasn't for this dance group, man, there's many, many, many of our tribal members that are Round Valley feather dancers that they put this outfit on or they put that dress on and went out there and danced. All ages. We have that's one thing I love about being up there is that I see all ages dancing, and I see people dance for the first time, and I love it. I love it. It's good to be up there. But the only thing is, we never know what those guys are gonna do when they come by us and do the show off dance or something. It's kind of, but it's cool. I love it. Love it. I want to thank your family for being part of my family, your elders.
oh, I appreciate that, Mud, and I appreciate you working with my grandfather, but just collaborating with him in his later years. He wanted to belong to something, be a part of something, and we all do as humans, and that's what we have a high rate of recovery further than any other race in the world, blacks, white, Mexicans, Asian, Chinese, because we are rooted into our traditional ways. We call it culture, traditions, but it's our way of life. Once we
Yes.
find that link back to it and be constructive and be positive, we could overcome anything. It's just a matter of taking it serious and focusing on the dancing and the singing instead of focusing on the drugs and alcohol.
Yes.
How many years do you have clean and sober, if you don't mind telling the audience?
I'm going on like 18 years or 19. I forgot which one, but it's one of them.
Yeah, congratulations, congratulations. I also want to take a shout out to, or send a shout out to up there on the coast, Point Arena. They roll deep too. The brothers in the Eastern Pomo, they're deep too. But I got to say up there, you guys' group is pretty deep. You know what I mean? I would say the deepest I've seen at times. You know what I mean? So as far as dance numbers, because you guys got a large area. So,
Oh yeah, yeah.
so the next question I had is, what is going on now on the Round Valley Reservation? I hear is there a drug epidemic, or is there everywhere there's like that? What's it like up there? What's the troubles going on? If you could change something, what would you want to change?
If I can change something, it would be the drugs and alcohol. I mean, um, it is a big thing up here, and there's a lot of addiction up here. But we have a lot of people up here. We have things that happen here on this reservation that happen on all the other reservations, but on the other ones it happens once in a while, or here and there, or it don't happen, but happens on this one. But up here we have so many people that it happens quite quite a bit, and people, we have a reputation, and people are scared of this res and all that. Well, it's really not like that. It's just a reputation, and we have good things that go on, and we're trying to change all the bad stuff. And but we need good leadership would stop all that. That's the main thing too, is our leadership. When our people see our leadership doing all this stuff, and I'm pretty sure you guys got a good idea, because just about all our leaderships do this. And but we need leadership that's going to be right here with the culture thing. Culture is prevention. It really is. That's the main thing. I mean, if our culture is our prevention, and this program that I work with, we're trying to bring back a lot of our culture, our things that we made by hand, you know, and things we put together. Like we get all these feathers and make top knot. We do we make a lot of things. Are trying to and trying to show um, the young people how to make these things and change things from addiction and all this drugs and stuff, and let them make some good stuff. Dancing, we just love to dance. It's beautiful.
I absolutely agree 100% with you. It is there. I live down here in Napa, and I was involved in a pilot program for the Native American historical trauma. It was a 5-part workshop down here in Napa. Native American historical trauma is being diagnosed for many, many years now. Now, the treatment is so simple. It's culture preservation, preserving your culture. That's going to bring you back to your spiritual being, and most important of all, being part of something. That's what how gangs get started. People want to be part of something. They're lacking something. They want to be part of something. And if you do it in a constructive way, it's like people do want to dance with Round Valley. People do want to be a part of that. They want to be up there with you guys. You know what I mean? And that's real. They want to dance with you. They want to be part of your guys' group and participate. And that does help out a lot of people spiritually and mentally being part of it. And one thing I also want to note too, that I created one called pre-colonization, a workshop, and it was so simple. It was community, unity, structure, love, being part of something. That's human nature. And that's so basic and it's elementary that it was so cool. I try to push away from the mission curriculum and substitute it in with pre-colonization, and then studying that and creating that. I said, wait a minute, this needs to be taken back to the res. We need to teach the kids how it was before contact. Community, unity, structure, love. Everyone helped each other, helped the elders, everyone took care of each other. You know what I mean? And that's something that's got to be brought back to our way of life. So I got 2 more questions before we get going, brother. I do appreciate you taking time out of your day and sharing and being authentic about what we're, doing here in our lives. So the next 2 questions are kind of deep. So Mudcat, what do you want to be remembered for? So go ahead and gather those thoughts, and I'm going to go ahead and continue. So I want to thank everyone who's watching. I want you to go ahead and tune in, subscribe, and like. I know in previous segments I said it's not about subs, not about subscriptions, not about likes, but it may not be that for me. But I tell you this, a lot of my guests and people that are viewing, they want to like, they want to subscribe. So I want to encourage you to go ahead and like and subscribe, and go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section if there's any questions out there that you may want me to ask. Let's be active. Let's create some dialogue and dialect, and let's keep this conversation going. So Mud, back to you. If there's something you want to be remembered for, what do you want to be remembered for?
I want to be remembered for help getting our culture back for our people. Main thing I want to be remembered for, that's the main thing. If I had to remember, I want to be remembered as being good, bringing our culture back. I'm help doing that anyways, but if I had to be remembered for something, that's what I would remember for. Being a good grandfather, being a good dad, being a good person on this reservation, and helping with our culture. That's what I want to be remembered for.
And I got to tell you, brother, you are known for that, man. When they say Mendocino County, Round Valley, you're the first name that comes up, and that's real. So you are the first name that comes up. The last question is, what do you want to tell the youth and the future generation? Any words of wisdom? Any words of advice?
Yes, get into your culture, get into your dances. If anybody comes at you with any drugs and all that stuff, just go the other way. Don't do it, because it isn't for us. It's a destroyer. It's to get us doing what we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing, and that's our culture. Keep it going. Culture is prevention.
I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I want to thank you, Mud, for taking time out of your day and sharing some of your story. Like I said, I want to encourage you to like, just subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Oh.